lovely day in this neighborhood, a lovely day for a neighbor. Won't you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Could you be mine? Would you be mine? I've always wanted a neighbor just like me, but when I saw you, I said, I guess you'll do. Now that we're together on this beautiful day, since we're together, we might as well say, won't you be mine? Won't you be mine? Won't you be my neighbor? Won't you please? Oh, won't you please? Oh, won't you please? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, boys and girls. I'm the colored Mr. Rogers. Welcome to my hood. What's poppin'? Today, we have so many fun things to do. Are you as excited as I am? Yeah. So one of the things I had planned was actually a puppet show about gang violence and how not to get stuck up in drive-bys and things like that. It's very dangerous. But I forgot to do the laundry, so that's not happening. But you know what else we could do that's super fun? Why don't we go to Make-Believe Town and pretend that we're teachers and we need to do a unit plan, or even longer, multiple unit plans. This is long range, right? Could be a unit, could be for a week, but now that we're teachers, we're gonna have to be prepared for whatever comes our way. Doesn't that sound like fun? Or what was that? Doesn't sound like fun? Well, suck it up, because we doing it anyway. So now that we're pretending to be teachers, trying to make the perfect unit plan, we gotta go step by step. Now, step one is very obvious. We can't work on an empty stomach, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you gotta get some food in you. So whether that's chicken, watermelon, or whatever it is that you eat, very important, get some food in you. Very important. Lord have mercy, there's some good shit. Be well rested, because we have a lot of work ahead of us. So step two is make sure you get some rest. So it's power nap time, baby. Cameraman, you mind hitting the lights? Cameraman?
Yeah?
What the heck are you still doing in my room?
Hello, boys and girls. So now, let's go to Make-Believe Town. Let's close our eyes and pretend that we're in a classroom. You ready? 3, 2, 1. We're on our way to Make-Believe Town. Open your eyes. Wow. The power of imagination. So now that we're in this classroom, let's get right to work. So now we're discussing long-range planning, right? So now, the first thing that I suggest we should do is look at this monograph. It was written by a great group. It was written by Miss Kirsten, Miss Ali, Miss Brittany. They did an amazing job. One of the things that I personally learned was about this technique called backwards design. And I don't want to get, spoil too much of the fun. I'll let y'all read it for yourselves. But just as a little summary, this technique, backwards design, is about you focusing on the end goal. So you have the end goal, and now your lesson plans will be sort of like steps on a ladder, working towards the end goal. The end goal is what you want your students, after leaving your class, what do you want them to know? What do you want them to achieve, right? So now you have the end goal in mind, everything else will be easy, right? It's all about just falling into place. What I did want to discuss, though, is like some learning objects that we can use in our own classroom. So now they're sort of like two learning objects, but they go together. So it's sort of like one big one. Now, it's like a poster, and with the poster comes along with it this comment box. And there's actually one in this classroom. Let's go check it out. So here is the poster. So after you've already now done your planning as a teacher, you're prepared, right? But now, instead of keeping that maybe on a paper or somewhere on your computer or in a binder stashed somewhere, I think to have that plan make it nice and neat and condense it onto a poster is really helpful. That's the first part of the learning object where you can use this in your classrooms. The second part is a comment box. And it comes, with sticky notes or little pieces of paper that you allow your students to write down whatever they want and then place it in the comment box. So now just a few benefits that we can go over of having a poster and a comment box in your classroom, right? So the first benefit, so for yourself as a teacher, you get to see your finished product. It's easily accessible. So like we said, it's not stashed away in a binder somewhere. It's not on a computer where you always have to open her up and find the folder. It's right there. Simple turn of the head. And there you are. Now, the second thing is this comment box allows you as a teacher, and as amazing as your planning might have already been, it's also good to have the students put in their feedback, right? And this allows you to make the lesson plans better for next time. So although you have a general outlook on the unit and also the lesson plans that you want to give, as you go along, students might give suggestions on how to make it even better, right? And why not take it and make it even better? Now, another thing that's helpful too is the timing. So you'll have all the lessons that you have out here for everyone to see. So now, let's say for example, you're going along and you're right on schedule. You can check back, yeah, you know what, we've done this lesson, we moved on to the second lesson, we're right on time, we're going to be moving to the third one, everything's perfect, right? You might also find yourself in a situation where you're actually ahead of schedule. So now this also is beneficial because now that you can look back to your schedule and see that you're actually ahead, what this gives you time to is maybe delve deeper into the subjects and get that deeper, richer understanding. So all this is very beneficial because you have sort of like a calendar, the poster here to guide you. It helps with your timing. Now, usually when we think of long-range planning, we think of, okay, that's something that's for the teacher. You do the planning and it's totally for the teacher, it's for your own benefit so that you're organized, right? But ultimately, we are doing this for the benefit of our students, right? So I think it's also another benefit to have this that's also visually there and accessible to the students as well. They're able to see what's in store, what they're talking about, and then at the end of the day, let's say, when they go home, they can walk by and see, okay, you know what, this is what we discussed. Now let me see what I need to review. They'll know what they need to review, what were the big ideas that you've talked about, and when they go do homework, they'll know that these are the big ideas that I need to focus on. It also helps them with tests, they'll be able to go back here, see where all the big ideas were, all the key terms, everything that you've covered in this unit. They can look back at it and know what they need to really focus on in order to really do well on whatever test or whichever way that you are assessing them. Also, the comment box is great because as you're going along with your lessons, students sometimes might be shy. This allows them to be anonymous, and especially a lot of the boys, as they get older, they don't want to seem, dumb in front of the ladies, right? So they might not ask these questions. So they can be anonymous, put these questions here to you, and then you'll be able to gauge what understanding your students are at, what they're having difficulty with. So the next day you can discuss it as a class and make sure to go over things so that way everyone is on the same page, everyone is understanding before you're moving on to your next lesson. As you go along with that too, you can make sure that everyone is on the same page. You've discussed all their concerns, you've taken all their suggestions, you've answered all the questions as best as you can. Now as a class, you can go together and cross out, okay, now everyone's comfortable, everyone has all their questions answered, perfect. So now we've completed lesson 1. We can cross that out as a class. Now we're going to be moving on to lesson 2. So just as an example over here, this was actually a science one that I found, and this was about the human body. So we had lessons planned out that first you're going to be discussing cells, then you're going to be discussing tissues, then you're going to be discussing organs in the body, then you're going to be discussing organ systems, and then you look at the individual. At the end, it also says the next step. So after you're done this unit, even if you want to look ahead, maybe some students want to get a head start, next we'll be talking about ecology, which is about how the human body interacts with this environment. Not necessarily human, whatever organism you're focusing on, in which case is the human body. Along with it, you have key terms written here. And one of the things that you can do is, as a teacher, if you want, as a class,
as you're going through the lesson, you can look for key terms together, and then as a class, come to a definition that's simple, easy to remember, easy to understand. You can write those down, or maybe as a teacher, you can just have it here as a point of reference for your students. So the possibilities are endless. So I think a great resource that you can use, that I can use, hopefully you'll be able to benefit from, are the poster and the comment box. So I hope that I was able to convince you that these are beneficial, and I hope that you will use it in your own futures and careers. Thank you for listening, and I will see you all soon. You are welcome in my hood anytime. Oh, you're still here. Okay, perfect, because I actually forgot to mention something. This example was a science example, but that doesn't mean that you can't use it in a literacy class or a math class or whatever class you're in for that matter. Same sort of idea. You can just tweak it up and make it unique to or specific to whatever class, whatever unit you're working on. Same thing goes for the comment box. Students can always put their suggestions, their comments, their concerns, their questions, and then this will help us to, although we have the broad outline of the unit plan, this can help us tweak the individual lesson plans within our unit and then make it more individualized, more differentiated, more specific to our class, and then hopefully more beneficial for them. So once again, I hope that helped. Peace out.